We're back with another tier list video. This time we're talking about luxury car brands, the best luxury car brand. This tier list system will be based on affordability, reliability, resale value, and just overall aesthetic. Just a solid rating system on the best luxury cars and unfortunately the worst. Let's not waste any time. Let's get started right away. The first luxury car brand I really want to talk about is Acura. Acura is one of my personal favorite luxury car brands, and let me just tell you why real quick. They look amazing. They're really not too expensive if you really compare them to other luxury car brands. They're pretty affordable. They're basically the luxury version of Honda, so guess what that means? You get a very reliable luxury car, a luxury car that can last a long time with minimal maintenance. That sounds pretty good to me. So in my humble opinion, to start off this video, we're putting this in S tier. No doubt this is going right in S tier. Acura is a phenomenal car brand, great luxury car. You really truly cannot go wrong with Acura. Moving on, now we have Cadillac. Cadillac's one of those luxury car brands that's been around for a long time. You see a lot of older people kind of drive Cadillacs. They're kind of like a classy manufacturer. There's some people that absolutely love Cadillacs and there's some people that don't like them at all. And in my personal opinion, they are not too good. They're extremely expensive. They do not look the best when you really compare them to all the luxury car brands, and they are riddled with issues. Electronic issues, engine issues, transmission issues, the list goes on and on and on. So in my humble opinion, like I said, this is my opinion, guys. It's going to go in the check engine light tier. I do not think Cadillac is worth it. I don't think it's the best bang for your buck compared to these other manufacturers. And let's say you're watching this video and you own a Cadillac. Feel free to give me your experience with that vehicle in the comments below and we can simply have a conversation. But let's move on. Next up, we have Audi. Audi really makes good looking cars. I mean, Audi probably makes some of the best looking aesthetic cars. The R8 is absolutely gorgeous. I currently work at a car dealership, so when we get these Audis in and I take them for a little test drive and I look at them, I mean, I'm a big fan of Audi. They just make really good looking cars. But there's other factors in mind in this tier list, so I'm not going to be biased just because I like the way they look. I'm going to be honest. When it comes down to reliability, they're somewhere in the middle. They're not the most reliable luxury car brand, but they're not complete garbage. So they're somewhere in the middle. They're not, you know, if you maintain them correctly and you're on top of that engine, they can actually get some decent mileage. As of right now, I'm thinking I'm going to put them on top of B, kind of like that first slot in B tier. I think that's a good spot for them. Like I said, they look really good. They have great engines and power. Not the most reliable, not the best resale value. So I think top of B is a really good spot for them. I think they fit quite nicely there. So that's for Audi. Let's move on. Man, so this next one, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about it. People are torn on this manufacturer, but we absolutely need to talk about BMW. BMW has a very weird audience, right? There's people that are in love with BMWs. Like they can't drive anything but BMWs. They praise BMW, and there's other people that don't like them at all. Like they do not like BMWs. They want nothing to do with BMW. I could kind of look at this from an outside perspective and then kind of see overall where BMW stands. And when it comes down to looks, when it comes down to reliability, when it comes down to resale value, they check a lot of boxes, guys. I mean, they're a pretty good car manufacturer and they've been around a long time. These are simply the facts. I'm not the biggest fan of BMW, right? I don't think I'm personally ever want to buy one, but looking at it objectively, they make pretty good solid cars. And are they expensive to maintain? Of course they are, guys. But they are decently reliable. They make really good looking cars and their resale value is there. So guys, if I'm being honest, they're going A tier. For some strange, odd reason you disagree with me, feel free to talk about it in the comments and we will have a conversation. Okay, now it's time to talk about Volvo. I have a lot of opinions on Volvo. Volvo is the luxury version of Volkswagen if you didn't already know. Their lineup is decent, right? Like when I see a Volvo on the road, I do think they're pretty good looking, but not nearly as good looking as other luxury car brands, and it's really not even that close. They are definitely not cheap. For the price of a Volvo, you might as well go for like an Audi or a BMW, and this is just my opinion. And again, when it comes down to reliability, they really aren't as good as BMW or Audi. So, you know, the reliability is not really there. The looks aren't really there. They're not cheap whatsoever. So unless you just have a personal taste for the Volvo look, I'm not going to rate them too highly here, guys. I'm thinking maybe D tier for now. And again, this could change for as the video goes on. I'm kind of freeballing this. So we could, you know, maybe play around with the spots. But for now, I think I'm going to put them nice and tightly into the D tier. I like the way this list is looking so far. But that being said, let's move on. The next luxury car brand I'm going to put on this tier list, we have Porsche or Porsche, however you pronounce it. I just like to say Porsche. Let me just say this. They are phenomenal luxury cars. I mean, they are the definition of you made it. Are they crazy expensive? Of course they are, but like it's to be expected. Like this is a high quality luxury car. They look absolutely gorgeous. They have such a unique look to them. Are they reliable? For what they are, they're not actually that bad. Let me just put this in perspective. If you buy a Porsche, you're not really buying it to be reliable. You're probably not going to put that many miles on it anyway. So with that, in my consideration, I'm going to put them in a decent spot on this tier list. I mean, they check a lot of boxes for me. When we're talking luxury cars, for what they are, they're really, really good. I'm thinking the B tier. I think I'm going to put them right here in the B tier. I like this spot for them. They're really good luxury cars. They're not the most reliable. They're not the, most cost effective. But for what you get out of this luxury car, you got to put them in a decent, respectable spot on this tier list. I'm a big fan of Porsche, and I'm sure you guys agree. I truly, truly hope that you guys are getting value and you're being entertained from this video and you're just enjoying the video. If you are, like the video, please comment for the algorithm. Just subscribe to the channel. It takes 3 seconds and you're really helping out a small YouTuber. Moving on, let's talk about Ferrari. Ferrari is bougie. They make phenomenal looking sports cars, very expensive sports cars. And I was thinking about not even adding them to this tier list because it's not really fair. It's not really fair to compare them to other luxury car brands because they're kind of in their own bracket. But I said, let's just put them in here. Let's talk about them. I love Ferraris. I think they're phenomenal looking cars. Are they expensive? Obviously. Are they most reliable luxury car? No, but they're not meant to be. They're meant to be a fast, fun, kind of show-offy car, and that's exactly what they are. So I'm going to make this very short, sweet, and simple. Ferrari, I'm going to put them in the C tier. I think that's a good spot for them. Like I said, they're gorgeous cars. Is there a better bang for your buck out there? Maybe, maybe if you have the cash to buy a Ferrari, you're probably not too concerned about reliability, but I think C tier is fair for them. I might move them up. I'm not sure, but for now, Ferrari, I'll put C tier. I think it's a good spot for them. Let's move on. Now we are going to talk about Infiniti. Infiniti, if you don't know, is the luxury version of Nissan. And fun fact, I owned an Infiniti for a couple of years. It was a 2012 Infiniti G35 Coupe, something like that. It was a long time ago. So obviously I have a couple of opinions on Infiniti. First off, reliability is just simply not there. I know a lot of people do have Infinitis, they like them, but the reliability is just not there in my opinion. I've been through it myself. I've seen other people go through it. A simple Google search will tell you the same thing. Nissan and Infiniti in this year, they just don't make super reliable cars, and it is what it is. I truly hope one day Nissan and Infiniti make a huge comeback and start making reliable cars again, but as of right now, I cannot rank them super high. They're just not reliable. And they're definitely not the best looking cars either. I mean, go look at their lineup. If you compare them to Lexus or Acura or any other luxury car brand, they're not super good looking. So they're not cheap. They're not reliable, and they're just not super aesthetically looking, you know what I mean? So I apologize if you own one, but this is just my 2 cents. I'm going to have to put them in the check engine light tier. It hurts me to do this because I had an Infiniti, but I'm talking issues up the wazoo, guys. So this is just my 2 cents, and it's going in the check engine light tier. So let's just move on. Finally, next up on the luxury car tier list, I have one of the best luxury manufacturers ever made, ever built, ever produced, and you probably already know what I'm going to say. It starts with the L and ends in an S. We got Lexus. Listen, guys, I talked about Lexus a little bit in my previous video, so I'll make it short and sweet for you. Are they reliable? Yes. Do they look fantastic? Yes. Do they make really good, powerful, sporty engines? Yes. Do they have a phenomenal resale value? Yes. Do they check all the boxes? Yes. So, to make it, just to make it easy for us, I'm just going to stick it right here in S tier. Absolute no-brainer. They are just an easy S tier. I'm going to put them #1 spot, and they're probably not going to move. I think they're undefeated. You might be saying, Rudy, you sound biased as heck, but listen, I mean, the facts are the facts. They are reliable. They are great. They look great. I mean, if you're going to buy a luxury car and you have, not a crazy budget, but you want something nice that's going to last you a long time, and, when you want to trade it in and you still got a lot of good value for it, Lexus is the luxury car to get. So, I mean, that's all that's it. That's all I got to say. Lexus is #1 S tier, really good manufacturer. If you disagree with that, feel free to say something in the comments, be respectful, and we'll have a conversation. Okay, let's move on. Next luxury car brand, we have Genesis. Genesis, they're the luxury version of Hyundai. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about them. They make really good looking cars. They're very luxury, bougie, fancy. You ever sit inside a Genesis, you're like, holy, like I feel like royalty. Like they feel very luxury. They do a really good job at that, and they're not super expensive for what you get. I see a lot of people lease Genesis at a really affordable payment, and they have a phenomenal, good looking car. They're not the most reliable in the world, but they're not unreliable. reliable. They're kind of somewhere in the middle. You know, it's the same thing for Hyundai, just a little bit upgraded. So I like Genesis. I'm a fan. I think a fair spot for them on this tier list will be in the C tier. I think they fit nice right there in the C tier. I think they look pretty good there. I like that spot for them. I'm a fan of Genesis. I don't have anything super negative to say about them. Like I said, they're not the most reliable. They're not going to hold the most value, but for what they are and the price you pay for them, they're pretty good, you know? You have a little bit of a tight budget, but you want to drive something that looks really, really nice and kind of show it off a little bit, Genesis might be the car for you, and it might be the nice luxury car brand that you should be looking for. So I think that's fair, and let's move on. Now, this next luxury brand is a highly requested one. People really love this luxury brand, and they've been around for a long time. You might know what I'm thinking. We have Mercedes. Mercedes is like a legend. It's like a staple in like luxury cars. You know, Mercedes has been around for a long time. You know, way back in the day, people would buy Mercedes when they would get rich, right? I mean, that was the car to get. That was the brand to get. That was status. That was aura, right? It was straight aura. Nowadays, maybe a little bit less, but I mean, they're a classic, right? Mercedes make good looking cars. They're bougie. They're nice. They're a staple, right? Definitely not the most cost effective, not even close. To buy them and repair them is a lot of money. So I'm keeping that in mind. Just to buy them in general, they're just definitely not cheap vehicles whatsoever. So if you were to ask me, is there a better bang for your buck luxury brand out there? I would 100% say yes, but they are like a legend. Like, you know what I mean? They're a staple of luxury cars. So I have to keep that in mind rating them. And reliability wise, I would not say they're reliable kind of like at all, but if you buy a Mercedes, it's definitely not full reliability. So I'm kind of keeping all this stuff in mind, kind of doing my calculation in my head here. My gut's telling me kind of like near D tier is might be where I personally put them. You know, I get what they are. I get everything about them, the aura, but if unbiased, you know what I mean? Just car brand versus car brand and them being luxury, I don't think Mercedes is the best bang for your buck. They don't have everything going for them other than just having straight aura. You know what I mean? Like Mercedes, that's you buy Mercedes for status. That's kind of the only reason. Like, you don't really get a lot of benefits from Mercedes. And you might be watching this and completely disagree with me, and that's okay. Like, we all have our opinions. You know, this is my video on my tier list, and this is how I feel. So I'm gonna put them in D tier. Last and certainly not least, we made it to the ending of the video. The final luxury car brand we absolutely need to discuss is Land Rover.